At long last, federal workers will soon get paid, stalled benefits will start flowing, and then the air travel nightmare will also end too. The longest government shutdown in U.S. history is finally over. Phew, that took a while. President Trump signing that bill in a late-night Oval Office ceremony, reopening that government after a record-setting 43 days, and then also funding it all the way through January. The House now turns its attention to the Jeffrey Epstein files just hours after Democrats released explosive emails from Epstein's estate. President Trump didn't answer any questions on those emails at the bill signing, but earlier posted on Truth Social that the Democrats leaked them to deflect their role in the shutdown. NewsNation's Tom Dempsey has more from the White House. Tom, how soon could we see a vote on those Epstein files in the House?
Hey, Alex, good morning from the White House. Well, House Speaker Mike Johnson says a vote to compel the Justice Department to release all files in the Jeffrey Epstein case could come as soon as next week. A big development with this story came when Democrat and new Representative Adelita Grijalva from Arizona got sworn in, and she's going to be the 218th lawmaker in the House to sign this petition forcing the House to vote to release those documents. Representative Lauren Boebert also signed it, and says she's sticking with the petition despite President Trump's phone calls to lawmakers trying to get Republicans not to sign on. Democrats in the House Oversight Committee released emails written by Jeffrey Epstein, and one from 2011 to his associate Ghislaine Maxwell. Epstein writes, quote, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victims spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned." The White House team has very much pushed back against these emails being released by the Democrats of the House Oversight Committee. The White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, saying that they proved nothing and that President Trump did nothing wrong. Alex?
And Tom, two simultaneous stories happening at once. Epstein on one hand, but then obviously the president focusing on reopening the government. What comes next there, and what's the president saying about it?
Yeah, so after 43 days of being shut down, the federal government can now officially reopen for business. And what exactly does that mean? Well, around 650,000 federal workers furloughed during the shutdown can now return to their jobs, and almost 600,000 federal workers who are working without a paycheck can now be paid. During a signing ceremony reopening the government here last night at the White House, President Trump once again blamed Democrats for the stalemate.
The total effect of the damage their antics cause will take weeks and probably months to really calculate accurately, including the serious harm that they did to our economy and to people and to families. So I just want to tell the American people, you should not forget this.
And on the other side of this, Alex, Democrats say they will continue to push to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies expiring at the end of the year, which they made a very big focus of the shutdown negotiations. But House Speaker Mike Johnson still will not commit to a vote on the issue. But getting back to those federal workers, the Trump administration saying that the goal is to start sending out paychecks to federal workers as soon as Wednesday. This upcoming Saturday. They hope to get those paychecks out with a goal of paying all federal workers by Wednesday of next week. Alex?
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.